Hi everyone, and welcome back to Sit in It for a Bit on a Sunday with Arne and Carlos. And we are, as always, your hosts.
Arne and Carlos.
And we are back with yet another podcast. We do these every other week on Sundays, and we tend to have a lot of fun doing them.
How many years have we done this now?
Well, we started in the pandemic. So before the pandemic, we used to do just regular knitting tutorials and sometimes crochet tutorials on Sundays.
Yeah, and different things.
Yes, and then when the pandemic hit, we were actually, suddenly we had nothing to do. I mean, as most people, we were under lockdown, and that's when we started our podcast. Yeah. So it's been 4 years. And we have, during these 4 years...
4 years, and we still have things to talk about.
And we still have things to talk about. We have amassed a great audience. Lots of people love following our podcast, and they have been doing so for 4 years. And in case you're new, in case you don't know who we are, and in case you just stumbled upon this podcast because it says sit and knit for a bit.
So you might think we are knitting all the time.
And talking about all things knitting, but best be warned that during the pandemic, we talked about our daily life here on the mountains in Norway. And that is what we still today continue talking about. So there is knitting and there is crocheting as well, but you'll have to fast forward to more or less half of the podcast before we get into that. So now you know, and if this is not what you came for, sorry, but that's the way it is here.
But, a lot of people, when we go around, traveling around now, especially in America, like last time, a lot of people tell us that we helped them come through the lockdown and the COVID. Yeah. And actually, it helped us also because, like, when we did these videos and we saw the comments and we knew that people were actually watching. So even if we're like in the middle of nowhere and we were quite alone, we didn't see people, we were not alone.
Exactly.
There were people out there. And some of you are still there, so thank you for that.
And lots of people, I mean, we've just been to the US and everybody mentions what we did for them in the pandemic. People don't realize that we were also going through our own stuff here during the pandemic. So it does go both ways, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
So.
And here we are. We still do these podcasts. Used to be every week on Wednesdays, and after the pandemic, when we started traveling more, we realized we couldn't keep it going. So now we do it every other week on Sundays, and then every other week we do
tutorial,
another kind of episode where we usually involve our crew, Anna, Eric, and PJ. But for these episodes, it's just Arne and me.
Talking, and you can sit and knit if you want to.
Exactly.
We can't because we're not good in multitasking.
No, we're the worst multitaskers in the world. If we would do this multitasking...
Then you will lose us very quick.
Yeah, and Arne just reminded me...
Don't get lost.
Yeah, well, no, you reminded me to look at the camera and not do...
No, because sometimes if you see something you like and then you just get lost. Because sometimes I pull out stuff you haven't seen and then you're like, oh, what's this? And then you end up.
And my attention span that's the problem. It's like, I'm supposed to be doing this. And then I go, oh, what is this? And then suddenly I'm somewhere else.
Most people who have seen us before know how things work.
They do, yeah. And if you haven't seen us before, welcome. I mean, it's very lovely having you here. And in case you don't know who we are Arne and Carlos. Some people don't really know who's who, but I am Carlos, and this is Arne over here. And we are designers. We've been working professionally as designers since the beginning of the century.
Since last century.
No, well, yeah. You graduated from the School of Design last century.
In 96.
In 1996. We have been working professionally as Arne and Carlos since 2001, approximately, launching our first collection in the fashion industry in 2002. I mean, if you've been following, you will know this because it was a quiz. We had a quiz for Christmas when we did a stocking. And that was the correct answer.
It was,
and nowadays we work with all sorts of stuff, mainly freelance design for companies like Rowan. We do sock yarns, colorful sock yarns like this for Regia. We travel the world with our friends and people who, we organize knitting cruises, we organize garden trips. And we bring people together. I think that's our main job description. I mean, I usually say that as designers, we solve problems. That's kind of a way of putting it. You know, we have a challenging problem and then we solve it creatively. But I think that our real job description would be to bring people together. That's what we do.
We spend a lot of time traveling now again.
Yeah.
Because we're back to normal.
Back to
Maybe
normal.
we travel more than before, actually.
We are, yeah.
So we shouldn't.
We shouldn't, but we are. And it's actually something I enjoy. It's probably, if I weren't doing what I'm doing right now, Arne, I think I would have loved to work on radio.
Yeah,
I think I would have done a good job.
We done radio in Norway. We were
have.
like guests in the local radio.
Yeah.
That was so fun.
Yeah.
And we have to pick music, and I picked a song. My choice was
Dolly Parton.
No, it was another one.
But you chose Dolly
We
Parton.
chose Dolly as well, but there was another guy. His name is Brett Dennen, and we have one record from him. I haven't heard anything, but he had one song, and that was. I didn't think.
Yeah, it was very long. Yeah.
It's not radio material.
No, that to cut it.
So long. That song is so long, and
But they cut it in.
They cut it, and then I had to come up with a joke that we had to cut the music because we didn't bring our dancing shoes, and we've been dancing for quite a long time during that song, so our backs were hurting. That's why we had to tone it down. And
but it was a fun thing to do. We did. It was in 2010 or 2011. We're also authors, by the way, if you don't know. We did a book called 55 Christmas Balls to Knit, which was a huge hit. And back in 2010, our publisher in Norway had us do all these media things like TV and radio and stuff like that. And it was so much fun when we got booked as guest co-hosts of the morning radio show.
That don't happen anymore.
Not
because
local.
We don't have books now.
Yeah, but it wasn't the local radio for the county we live in. It was the local radio for we don't have states like they do in America, but the areas, So the area of nowadays it's Inlandet. It used to be Hedmark and Uppland, two different but very large. So we were so that was the radio we were doing.
That was fun.
It was a lot of fun being the co-host, and I got to read the weather, which was fun.
Yeah, you were so good.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So that
and then we can't say that because it sounds we could.
No. You're talking about the name of that city, right?
No, there's a place. It's not a city.
It's not a city. It's a place.
I think it's a cottage up in the mountains, high up in the mountains, and they always mention the weather in that place.
Yeah.
And if you're not Norwegian, it sounds funny, but maybe you shouldn't say it.
Well, okay. So now you have awakened the curiosity of everybody of what the name of this area is.
Or place.
I'm not going to pronounce it because.
But you pronounced it, and you didn't pronounce it correctly, kind of.
Because I
so
started.
it was even more fun.
Yeah, because I started giggling.
It's called Foxstua.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not that kind of a channel. And you didn't say a bad word because that's actually the name of an area here in Norway. But we're not saying it again.
Fuck, that is like if there's a lot of snow.
I know, but
it can mean like the wind is blowing and then you get a lot of snow in
it's spelled
piles.
It's spelled F-O-K-K, and it has nothing to do with the
what you think.
What you think.
No, so it's Foxstua.
Yeah. But I started giggling over that name. But I don't know if they're going to beep us. Maybe we'll lose our income. We're gonna get demonetized. But you know what?
But there's so much you can see on YouTube.
Exactly. If
this is nothing compared to other things.
So if we get demonetized, we get demonetized. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, I giggled about that. Anyway, we're digressing now. What were we going to talk about?
I don't remember.
What I would do if I were not a designer.
Or you will be on the radio.
I would be on the radio, or I would be an interior designer.
Yeah. I think you could be an interior. I think you should start like a second career.
Yeah, but
if people want help with their interiors, they should call you.
The problem
because
is
you're good.
The problem is interior design in Norway. It's all beige,
But
it's
you can
beige,
do it worldwide.
So beige, and gray. That's what they do here.
Maybe we should start an interior channel on YouTube.
Maybe.
And come up with tips.
Anyway,
based on people's questions.
yeah.
Because you are good. He's
And
good.
if you look at the walls here, you'll see that we're not beige. I mean, it's yellow, and we've got blue, and we've got all sorts
This
of
time
colors.
of the year, I'm very beige. I feel
Yeah.
like.
Anyway, I would have been that, or, and this is where I was getting to. Now we're gonna get
Okay, now
back.
we're-
Now I'm gonna, reel it all in back again.
where did it come
Or I would have worked in the travel industry. We were talking about.
You're good at that also. Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about the trips and all that. I love to travel. I mean, I love discovering all these new destinations, and I love learning about cultures, new cultures. I love trying foods. I love, in a respectful way always. Just learning about different cultures and traveling and seeing the world is one of the things I thrive doing. So those were, yeah. So that was the travel thing. How about you?
Oh, I want to be a ballet dancer.
Well, that was before, but that's
when I
too
was
late
younger.
now.
That's too late. I
Yeah.
can't do. I can't do those.
No, but what would you do?
Splits.
What would you do if you didn't work with the design you
I
work
don't
with
know.
now?
Actually, maybe I would be.
I think you'd be an artist.
That's something I always think about. That could be something because I don't have time, but I really would like to.
But think
do
about it.
more
What would you
art.
do? What would you do if you weren't doing this? Not the artist one. Think about something. I had three things. So
Something with gardening, maybe.
I believe that. I believe that.
Because-
garnet design.
I love gardening,
Yeah.
but also art. Like
Yeah.
I would like to learn oil painting.
Yeah.
So, have I told the story when I was little and I wanted to? I found it very fun to write, and I wanted to write books. And I remember this is a sad story. Should I tell the sad
Well,
story?
it's sad, but it's also, your parents stuck up for you. So
Yeah.
it is a
But
good
this
story.
is a story from when I was in probably like 4th or 5th grade or something, when I was little. And we had this challenge in school, or what you call it, because you had to write these essays in school. And I really loved the theme. I was so inspired. I don't remember what I was writing about. I think it was some people on the lost on an island or something. And I couldn't stop writing. I even made the chapters. And I was so hooked on writing. And I felt I had done a really good job. So when we handed in when they handed back the essays, I was really hoping for a really good grade because I felt I had done a really good job.
Yeah.
And then they just called the people who had the top grade. So they had, this is really bad. If you had a good grade, you had to get up to the teacher and get your book back. And they called for all the best ones, and I was not amongst them. So I was thinking, okay, maybe it wasn't so good after all. And it just continued. And then there was only me left, and I didn't get my book. But actually, the teacher called me and said, come, now it's your turn, like, to get your book. And I didn't get my book. I got a letter for my parents.
Oh boy. Yeah.
And they had to meet up in school because I was accused of copying a book we had at home.
Which book?
I don't know. They didn't say which book, but
A book. So
I had copied a book.
So not specified.
No. So they actually, my parents had to meet up in school and explain that we didn't have books at home. We have 3 books. We didn't have a lot of books when I grew up. So they have to explain. But I never got the grade. And I don't think I got my book back either.
That's bad.
So
But your parents.
since then, I started to write stupid essays.
But your parents stuck up
yeah,
for
they
you.
stuck up.
Yeah, but then you can
But
fast.
that is like how teachers actually can kill your inspiration because they don't understand.
But then we have to fast forward because I wanna complete this story now. So this is I agree, it's very tragic. I think it's good though. Your parents stuck up for you, and yeah, Arne's parents were farmers, living in a very old farm, and they'd been farmers for generations,
and they
for
were
hundreds.
tough, all my family were
Yeah.
tough cookies. They
Yeah,
didn't
and
do-
hundreds and hundreds of years of farmers. So there were not many books in your home.
No.
So you did not copy a book. That's
No,
true.
we had. I remember which books we had.
Yeah. Anyway, so but fast forward until 2007. we did our first book in 2007, and we didn't feel like we were authors, so we brought in a journalist to write with us the book,
And
right?
that was not a knitting book. It was more a
Yeah.
book about our work as fashion
Yeah.
designers and the background.
And the publisher at the time, I think, would have rather we wrote it, but we didn't feel like we had the confidence to do so. And then I don't remember what happened, but I do remember us sending her material, written material, and then she said it's one thing writing with a journalist, but Arne, it's one thing having a journalism degree, but you're actually a better author than she is.
But we wrote
So
together.
yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You can be a journalist, you can have a degree in journalism, but some people just have this natural
more,
thing
I
for
think-
writing. So I think you're a good writer.
Because I like storytelling.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
So anyway, that's
So that was
So-
the non-knitting subject.
so yeah. So so first that childhood experience, and then when you became older, an editor at a publishing house told you you're actually a better author than many journalists, which is a nice thing to hear, I think.
Yeah.
So there's something about the way you write that is very captivating, I have to say.
So I should start writing
I don't know. I mean, you wouldn't do a bad job
in my next life,
in your next life, yeah.
baby.
So anyway, yeah, that's that was a very we really digressed today.
But we can talk about something related to knitting.
Well, what are you thinking?
I brought out a sweater.
Okay, let's do
Because
that.
we showed this one before on YouTube because we were fixing it. Because there was a very tight turtleneck and we took it out. And this has been a struggle. The knitting is very strange. We have no clue how it's knitted. And now I'm almost finished with the sleeves, but you see I can't find the same yarn.
So there's a little.
It's a little bit different in the color, but I don't care.
No.
This is going to be used mostly at home.
And even if you used it going out, which you can't because it's so hot.
Right now, I can't use this now. I don't know when I should use it. But see, I'm almost there with this sleeve. But I'm knitting from top down, and it's really difficult to understand how this was made in the beginning. So I just
unraveling the sweater has been quite
it's a
interesting.
mystery.
It's a
how
it's a
this is
big
made.
mystery.
But now I've decided I just stop there and then I do the cuff. I don't going to decrease anymore, so that you see that will be a little bit strange.
Yeah,
the
but it doesn't
line.
matter. I mean, it's an old sweater.
But I can't start over again from the cuff to get the nicer line.
Yeah,
So it will be a very wide and then.
it'll be okay.
But
It'll be okay.
I can wear it. And I remember I used this once on YouTube in the beginning, and it was so tight, and it almost struggled me.
It
because
shrunk in the closet.
It shrunk in the closet.
You know, as wool sometimes does. Not always.
Some people say it was the most ugly sweater they ever seen. I think it's nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Who said that?
I don't remember, but I remember.
I think it's quite nice.
I think it's nice. It's a thrift shop.
Yeah.
Fine. I think it was from Norway, but
I
we
think
found
it's
it
got. I think
somewhere.
the design. We bought it in Paris.
in Kiliwatch.
I don't think
or-
so. I think we bought it in a secondhand store in Paris somewhere.
But
Cheap.
now I'm actually, at least now I'm going to use it again.
It's very.
Because
I
it's
like
been
it.
lying in the box forever. So
It's got. Let's show it again because it's got a nice black and white design or brown and white, and then it has a. It's a very nice. It's a raglan design and it just goes down the front.
and then there's nothing on the back.
But yeah, it's very interesting because when we unravel it, we've unraveled quite a lot of it to re-knit the sleeves.
And I think I
and
explained on one YouTube episode how it was knitted because actually this is knitted on the round with intarsia in the front. So that's quite interesting because it's knitted back and forth.
But in it is such a weirdly knit sweater that even we've been studying it because we've unraveled it, but we still can't figure out how they've done it. We've figured out a few things about it. As Arne was saying, the back and forth in intarsia for the front panel, we figured that one out. But there's a lot of things with this sweater that we still haven't figured out, and we may never figure it out either because
It's very, very strange.
yeah.
So
Do you think it could
Sorry.
potentially have been knitted on a hand loom knitting machine.
No, you see on the tension, this is not the hand loom. Because you
Okay.
see the stitches are very different.
Yeah.
So you see, these big ones are probably knitted on the knit round, and these tiny ones are probably knitted on the purl
okay,
round.
yeah.
So you see,
Yeah, I see.
the person who have made this one hasn't had like the feeling of the tension.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You see,
can
it's
that,
very
yeah.
off.
Yeah.
But I don't. I think it's fine.
It's a nice sweater, and now you get to wear it around the
You
house.
can probably pull it to get more even tension. But
Or maybe not around the house. You'll wear it outside in the garden
oh, it
in
helps.
fall.
Look, it helped.
Oh, good.
If the tension is a bit off, it always helps. Oh, see? Now the tension is so much better.
Yeah.
It looked like that.
Yeah,
And then
stretch it.
You stretch it. Oh no, it went back.
Yeah, because it's probably
Oh no, it's down
100%
there.
wool. Okay.
Oh, it's not so good. Okay,
Anyway, it's
it's a ski sweater.
yeah.
Around the house.
But this is perfect to wear in the garden in fall when
fall.
it's still warm enough not to wear a thick jacket.
Spring is probably too warm because
Oh,
spring can be very warm, but in the fall, even because it's sometimes a little bit windy. Mm-hmm. So it's a fall sweater for the garden and a ski sweater.
Yeah. So recap our life and what's going on here. We are in a heat wave here in Norway right now, which is really cool. Yesterday we were sitting outdoors on our deck,
It was too
and
warm.
we had to get the umbrella up. And then I was sitting close to the umbrella and closer to the sun, and I actually had to move away from that place and move to the opposite side of the sofa because it was really hot.
Yeah, and now we're building this extension to the house, so it means that now we have, like before, it was the veranda was open on to the north and the south, but now we have shelter
Yeah, to the south.
To the south. So there's
Sorry.
there's like if there's no wind from the north, it's
Yeah.
very still.
And there
It's
was no wind from the north
very warm.
yesterday.
So I
So-
think maybe today are we going out or should we wait until after?
I
No,
think we
we-
should do stuff outside because the weather is beautiful, and tomorrow the weather will not be beautiful. By the way, at the time of recording this, this is Saturday, May 4th, and tomorrow, Sunday, May 5th, is when this podcast is going out. So it's very recent. And the reason why we've recorded it today in the last minute is because we've been really busy with a lot of things. Among other things, we got home from California on the 25th of April. 24th of April. So we were quite jet lagged for a while. And it's
Horrible.
it's horrible. Anyway, so we've been kind of really busy, and suddenly we have this really good weather. And in Norway, when you have weather like this, you just have to stop everything and go out.
Yeah, it's really hard to do something
Because-
indoors, and we have
yeah.
a lot of projects we're working on.
And
but
that-
it stops.
And then the other problem is that this time of the year, we would usually clear the whole area out because of winter. So, the snow is almost
Melted.
gone. And you'd want to start clearing the garden, cleaning. But we're building this extension, and it all looks like
It's,
a hurricane came through it. So there's debris
I don't know.
everywhere. There's, the carpenters are capping wood, and they just.
And I went to the garbage place yesterday with the full car, and
Yeah.
I'm going to fill it again today because there's so much stuff.
So that's what we're gonna be doing.
It takes time.
And we've got a lot of stuff left over from the renovation this fall. We did the kitchen this fall. There's something about renovations and Arne and Carlos and us.
It never stops.
It never stops. I don't know why we keep renovating. So we renovated the kitchen again. The last time we did it was 10 years ago. We've called this our forever kitchen now, the new one. And if we ever get tired of it, the only thing we're going to do is paint the cabinets in another color and change the handles. We are
But
not.
what is? I have to say this. Sorry, I have
Okay.
to, because it's so cool with the new extension. Because right now we're walking through a closet to get into the room,
Like Narnia.
like Narnia, and I'm yesterday we talked about should we just keep the closet so it's like a surprise, like you open the.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. But you had to walk through the wardrobe.
It's kind of cool, but the thing is, if we don't keep the closet, we'll get a lot of natural light into the hall,
so
which
the
is
hall
lovely.
changed totally because
So, secret closet,
light.
that could be nice, but beautiful natural light coming in to the hallway, that's also very nice. So let's see what we do. But yeah, it was magical yesterday. So to start with, so when you renovate a kitchen or a bathroom, and you think it's going to take 3 weeks, it takes 3 months.
Yeah.
And it's hell, right?
because you live in it. So
Because you live in it. Now, building an extension, you think, well, it can take 3 months because it's not going to affect my life. And suddenly the extension's there, and it only took a month.
yeah, it goes so much.
It goes so much quicker when you're not living in it. And yesterday was a magical day because yesterday was the day when they made a hole. So actually, the extension is in 2 floors. The bottom floor is going to be a hallway, a very nice bathroom, a laundry room, and a big closet, I'm hoping. So that will take longer. But upstairs is just is going to be Arne's new room.
My tower.
Yeah. And because Arne's room is less complicated, it's already done. The only thing missing there, I mean, of course, it has to be painted,
Yeah,
obviously.
and the framework
And the framework, and the floor. That's
and the
what
floor
misses.
and the right size of the door.
So, no, not the framework, Arne. The skirting.
the skirting.
The skirting is missing.
and the
se-
things about around the window. What's that called?
Yeah, all the skirting is missing.
Skirting. Okay.
Yeah, the walls are done. The ceiling's done. The flooring is not done. The skirting is not done. Obviously, the room hasn't been painted yet, but the electrician has been there and set everything up. So it's actually just very quick.
And I was thinking that this evening I was planning to start painting, and then I climbed up in this ladder we have, and I couldn't reach the roof.
Yeah.
And it's 3.5
Over 3.5 meters.
meter up.
It's a sloped roof on both sides like this.
But
It's-
3.5 meter, I can't go up there.
No, you can't. So we'll have to get someone.
We have to get someone to paint it. And if we buy the ladder that is long enough, it's almost half the price of having someone doing
Yeah,
it.
but I'm not allowing you. I mean, you are
No, I was up there
forbidden
yesterday, and
to climb, especially in the middle of the room, and then you lose your balance and you fall 3.5 meters. No,
I'm not doing that.
So it's forbidden. You're not allowed to do this. We're gonna get we're gonna get the carpenters to paint. We were gonna do it ourselves to save money, but there's no way. So they're gonna paint the roof, and then we can paint because the walls where the
then
ceiling
you have a ladder
where the roof
leaning
pitches.
to the wall, but
Yeah.
in the middle of the room,
No.
you have to climb.
Out of the
So
question.
I'm not
It's
doing
not going to happen. Never. But anyway, it's a beautiful room, and it's got such a high ceiling. It's got and it's going to be Arne's new place.
So we will probably do some sit and knits up there.
Yeah.
I think-
So we made. So we. So the carpenters, they made the door, the entrance to the room yesterday. Because yesterday the windows came and they put in the windows, so the room's sealed. And then they made the hole into the house. So yesterday was a magical day when we, for the first time, went through the closet and arrived in this new world that is Arne's
And
new
this
room.
this is not a closet in the way of it's the furniture you put in the room. This closet is built in the wall.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're taking
No, it's a built-in
chainsaw
closet,
and going
yeah.
through a real closet. It's a built-in one. So it was kind of cool.
But even if it's fun, even if it was fun, the whole closet thing is fun. It has to come down because we're gonna get so much natural light.
But not many houses have a closet where you actually walk
No,
through.
that's kinda
like
cool.
in the fairy tales.
Yeah.
Narnia. Mm-hmm. You
And
just
then-
spread the coats and you're in a new room.
And then the room is fantastic. I went up yesterday by myself. I took a stool and I sat down in the middle of the room, and it's very cool because it's got a large window facing west with a view of our lake, a really nice view. And then it's got smaller windows on either side. This is the architect that drew it like that. So there's a window facing south, smaller, because the roof slopes like this. So the big window facing the lake west is there. And then there's smaller windows on either side facing south and facing north. And when you sit, I told Arne, if you sit in a strategically placed position in the room, you get quite a nice panoramic view, south, west, and north. You'll be able to see the garden, and then the lake, and then again the lake from the south.
And my plan is to have a table there and fill it with books that we have for inspiration, but there's also a place where you can sit and knit or crochet
for a bit.
and do for a bit. And you can even come with your computer and sit at that table.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to have a table where I can put books. Like if we work with inspiration from Norwegian folk costumes, I like to have all the books out.
Yeah.
Then I can have them on that table.
So I might join you, depending on how tidy the room is.
Oh, it will be so tidy. I'm planning.
That was the joke of the century.
Yeah, but I think I have to do a lot of walking from this house to the other house to pick up stuff because I can't have all the stuff in the room because it gets so crowded.
So now we'll empty Arne's old room, and I think that once that room is empty, we're going to look at everything and realize and ask ourselves, how did we get all this in here? But you're only taking in the things you want into the new space.
Yeah, I think I need to focus on which projects we're working on and then have those things. But if you think about the projects I'm working on right now, there's many.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll see what
I don't know how.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's going to be exciting, but I hope you can keep the room in better shape than the old one.
But it was like yesterday. I walked through. I was looking through the room, and then I found these UFOs, like this one. This is a scarf, not finished, with the grandma squares, and this is so fun to make, and it's our sock yarn.
Yeah.
And then I found a big box with sock yarn. And I have no clue if we have more of this, or is that the one?
I don't. No. This is not the one. But yeah, Arne found this. I'll take Arne found this whole thing, and I looked at this one, and I was like, "Hey, did we design this?"
Yeah, we did.
This is what it looks like, and apparently we did because our name is on it. But I can't remember doing it. We've done so many now that.
But this is the different one.
Yeah, it's not the one. No. This one I remember. This is one of the early ones. It's funny because nowadays I'm remembering the stuff that we did, the earliest stuff. Like this is one of our earliest yarns that we ever designed.
This is a UFO. This one has probably been a sock or something. But that one is easy. That one is easy to remember because that one we did fairly early. This is the Munch color.
Yeah, 2014. This I have no idea when we did it, and this I have no idea because the thing is, you will always remember the first stuff you do. It's special. But we've been designing. We're on the 9th year of collaborating with Regia, and so we've designed sock yarns for 9 years now. Yeah. So our portfolio there is becoming just bigger and bigger and bigger. So,
but I think you can still get the first ones, can't you?
Yeah. You can get all of them, or most of them.
So you just have to figure out which yarn this is, and
well, I know which one it is. It's from the Beltestak collection, the second. It's from the third collection because we did the Munch collection first, then we did the first Perfect collection, and then we did this one. So, this is also from the same collection.
Yeah, and this one also is not finished.
Yeah.
But it's so fun to make this because you crochet with the sock yarn and you get this like big, what do you call that?
Splashes of color.
Splashes of color, and it comes out so different from the knitting.
Yep. So sock yarn is not only for socks, you can do loads of different things with it. And the crochet is lovely, really. I mean, look at all this. And if you want,
I used the smaller needle on this one.
Yeah, and we've got a great pattern for this on our website at arnecarlos.com. So if you want to do a crochet scarf with sock yarn, all you need to do is go there and download the pattern. So it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
I don't remember how this was made. Oh, this is crocheted.
We have
together.
The pattern. Yeah.
This is crocheted in one way. This is crocheted together in another way.
Yeah, it's two different. So
we have used two different ways.
And both ways are on the pattern that we have on our website.
They are? Okay.
So yeah, so we've done loads of these. This one I remember. This is very pretty. I love this. This is Garagia. We've done this.
That's not even.
This is Mountains and Fjords. I remember this because this was one of my favorites. This is also Mountains and Fjords.
You know, the problem is we have one.
No,
ball,
this is Mountains and Fjords.
But we have only one ball in each color, and that
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, why don't you do like a mash of different?
Yeah, if you find like two that goes together,
They
you
all
can
go
do
together.
every other.
They all go together.
Yeah. Then you could do every other square.
Yeah, I think they, it is very colorful
Yeah.
anyway. So it all goes together.
This is my plan is actually to take this with me when we go on the next cruise we do in Norway, because we stop in so many places and they have the sock yarn.
Mm-hmm.
So I just bring these and I can do that into a thing. It's my mission.
It's your mission.
to find the right yarn, so I can finish some of these, because it's so nice to have a pile of these in the chest. We have a chest of drawer in the hall where we have organized socks, mittens, hats, dickies, and scarves. So just add this into the.
Yeah.
So you just.
They're very nice though.
It's very fun.
Very colorful.
This is actually very fun to make.
Yeah. And so we've been doing this for 10 years, and we just design. What we do is we design templates for Regia, where we kind of design what the sock is going to look like when it's ready made. And then we put the colors in. And it's actually, when you know how to do it, as I always say, it's easy when you know how to do it. So it's super easy putting the colors together, and always fun to see them in real life afterwards when they come out.
Yeah. But there's a lot of this yarn out now, and some looks like our color combination, and a lot of people, they buy the yarn and they think they have got ours, and then they post it on Instagram with like a hashtag Arne Carlos,
and it's not.
And it's not ours, because you have to look for the name.
Usually it'll have a picture of us like this.
Yeah, and then you have our name.
And our name on it. If it does not have our name on it, it's not ours.
Then it's another one. This is also Mountains and Fjord label. So this is actually a fun thing.
So anyway, what I was saying was so easy to do the colors on this. Takes me 10 minutes. Yes. Sometimes, this here's 4 colors. But some of these yarns, like...
the green one doesn't have a lot, or does it?
There's some of these yarns that have up to 8 colors. So there's a lot of colors in them. Do we have any of those? This one has 6 colors, 6 or 7 colors on it. So some of the yarns have so many colors, and some of them have very few colors. But it's easy putting them together. And then, but this is, professionally, this is what we do. But I'm thinking about how difficult it is for us with all the choices we have in our renovation project, in our build project, the bathroom, all the different bathtubs, all the different sizes of bathtubs, all the different fixtures, all the fittings, all the different tiles for the walls, the different tiles for the floors. I'm going crazy.
There's too many choices.
Fabrics for the Roman blinds, because our bathroom, if it doesn't have Roman blinds, people won't want to use it because it's exposed to the world.
Did you know we have?
So you need to do a little bit of this before going.
Yeah. 2 of the rooms in this house has actually the best view to the garden, and both of them are bathrooms.
Yeah. So, but this bathroom downstairs is going to look like a winter garden, and you'll need to have Roman blinds, which means we have to decide the fabrics for that, and it's a nightmare because there's so many choices. So it's interesting how in my professional life I can do this in 5 minutes, but that room and all the choices you get is just driving me crazy, and we keep discussing back and forth. 2 weeks ago, we had very modern taps. Remember?
Yeah.
The taps were super modern. They were really sleek. They were minimalistic. This week, all the taps are in Art Deco style.
We're changing our mind.
But I think we're going to keep them there.
I think we keep them there now.
I think that is decided now. Yeah. But it's taken us a month to decide. And then we had this really nice sink with a stand. Originally, it was going to be in wood from the same company that did our kitchen. Very simple with 4 legs, and then the sink goes on it. But now it's a porcelain sink with metal or chrome legs. So Yeah,
But it's kind of fun. Like I like to walk on the other side of the lake just to see how it changes when the windows come in and things like that. And yesterday they put in almost everything. There was like one window and a door to
missing,
the
yeah.
veranda missing. But when I walk to the other side of the lake and look at the building, it looks so beautiful.
It does, yes.
But if you don't know what it is, and you walk on that side of the lake and you look at the house, you will think that is the winter garden.
Exactly.
But no,
It's the bathroom.
So it's a spa.
It's a spa. Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah. But you know what? If you're going to come to our house and you're going to use our bathroom, it better not be an emergency, because you have to run into that bathroom and you'll have to pull all those Roman blinds down before you can actually sit.
But
right?
you have that, what you call that? Remember that I won this auction once in this.
Oh, the screen.
The
You have a
screen.
screen. We're not going to put a screen in there,
We have an English screen.
which we're not putting in there. But I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
It's 4 big doors.
Yeah.
I think 4. And there are with, we call it glansbilder. I don't know what the English word
There
is.
are kind of like beautiful old-fashioned stickers that have glitter on them. They're
But
already made.
There were not glue on
They're
them.
not. There's no glue on them.
They
so
came in these sheets and they were like attached, so you had to cut out these small
they're
pictures.
from those kind of stickers are from the early 20th century, I think. They've
know,
got
they're all-
angels on them, and they're very specific. I think that I'm
can
describing
still-
something that a lot of people will.
You can still buy them in Norway, and it's called glansbilder. But
Glansbilder.
it's hard to find now because people do more like everything on the internet, probably. But in the old days, we bought those and we cut out these small motifs and put them on postcards or in like these memory books that the kids had in school. Like you wrote the message to your friend and then you added it. Or people just collected them.
And in case you're wondering what glansbilder means in Norwegian, glans means shine and bilder means images.
But I think
it's
we
a
have to bring
shining
them because
pictures.
I have 2 books, old books with these things. We should bring them next time.
We'll do that. We'll bring them next time for you to see.
So
But
maybe-
I'm sure people can relate.
Yeah.
They have a little glitter on them. They are usually angels or ladies with long blonde hair and wings.
Or it could be
Well, that-
Santa
angels, I
Claus
guess.
and Christmas.
It could be, yeah. And
Butterflies, flowers.
then they've got
Sometimes they have glitter.
and
Sometimes
the paper is very specific because it's kind of there's a little bit of texture to the paper as well. So I think if you know the name of this in English, put it down in the comments for us to
If not,
read.
we will show it next time.
Yeah,
Just remind me to bring those.
I'll remind you to bring them. Yeah, we have to record another sit in it for a bit next week, even though it's going to be shown later on because we are going on a garden tour.
But you know,
to England.
since we live in the middle of nowhere and there's no neighbors around, we have so much to talk about.
We do
Things happening up here
all the time.
all the time.
Yeah.
So I want to show some gifts.
Yeah. So before you do that, Arne, though, we do have to put it in context.
What is that?
We have to tell everybody that we went to the US.
Oh yeah,
Right? So, yeah, as we were saying, I think our main job is bringing people together. So we went to the
I
USA.
forgot about that.
Exactly. We went to the West Coast this time. And going to the West Coast for us, living in Norway, is very hard because it's 9 hours of time difference, which is a lot. So we flew from Oslo to Copenhagen, San Francisco.
Yeah.
Arriving in San Francisco on a Thursday and then checking into the hotel nearest the airport. And then getting picked up by Britt-Marie, our Swedish friend she sells yarn to stores. So she picked us up and drove us to Reno the day after. When we were so jet-lagged out of our minds, I don't remember
But
much.
you know, I think for those of you who are members, you saw it on the member update because I was very tired on the last update.
On the last
we did.
update,
I
yeah.
was almost falling asleep.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, well, that's my point. So, and then from arriving into San Francisco, driving to Reno, and then going straight to do everything we were going to do. You know, we had all these meet and greets and all these things. And then we went to San Diego, and then we went to Los Altos in Silicon Valley, ending in San Francisco, flying home. The whole trip took 12 days. So by the time we left San Francisco, that's when we were feeling normal again. and then it going back to jet lag hell.
You just get used to it, and then you
And
go home.
flying, for us, flying from west to east is the worst because you lose a day. You fly, usually you have to spend the night on the plane. And then when you arrive, you've gone back. No, you've gone forward in time. Sorry. You've gone forward in time. You've lost a day. And when you are going to sleep at night, you're actually, usually in Norway at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, that's 9 o'clock in San Francisco in the morning. So you're pretty much eating dinner when you're actually eating breakfast in San Francisco. It was hard.
It's always hard.
Yeah. But I think we're getting there now.
we're getting there.
It's getting better and better.
And this time we didn't do any shopping. We went to 2 thrift stores. We saw stuff,
But we didn't find anything.
but we didn't bring anything home. But we got so many nice gifts. We
Yeah.
have so many gifts. So I
yeah.
brought some, so we can show some of them. But I didn't bring everything. We have to save some for later, maybe.
So I have a question about the boxes of those two.
These are the Dolly Parton dolls.
Are you going to take them out, or
I've already taken them
can I
out.
take the other one out?
So we got 2 of these. It's
Our friend Teresa.
Pop rocks. And I went into Amazon and I found they have even more. So I ordered them. So I want to have the whole collection now.
Oh, they're nice.
They're actually
A
very
little plasticky, but
So this is actually very cool. They can be on the shelf in the new room.
oh, very cool.
Look, rock and roll. And I ordered 2 other ones because there's one from the Backwood Barbie with
Can you see the other one?
the red glitter dress.
Oh, they're nice.
And there's another one. And this one has this is there's like she's standing on something. It's down here. But I think
So,
this will be nice in the new room.
So they're going on your shelf, all 4 of them. Is it 4 or do they have more?
I think I ordered 2 more. So I think at least
4.
there's 4 of them.
Very cool.
So there will be a Dolly Parton doll collection in the new studio.
Yeah.
So this was a fun gift.
Very fun, yes.
So, but I'm gonna take them out of the
Sorry.
box and save.
I did
the
it now.
box. What did you do?
I started looking down as you told me not to do. Sorry.
You get lost.
Yeah. I'll put the other one in the box as well.
And then we got a really nice horse because we have. People know that we have a horse collection. This one is so cute.
That's a vintage.
A
That's
vintage
old.
horse. So thank you.
And that one can stand up.
It can stand. You can see it there. It can stand. But we have 2 of these horses before.
It's very
a different
cute.
style that look more like a puppet. So this is a this is a very nice gift. Nice horse.
It's a lovely gift, yeah.
And
I
we
love
got
that horse.
And we got a new doll. She's naked, and I had to put on a sweater from the other doll. You could actually just make shorter sleeves, and then she has a sweater.
I like her hair. It's a nice.
I googled her, and if she had a name, but she came out as a vintage plastic doll,
Okay.
and that's what she is.
That's really cool feature now. You can take a photo.
yeah.
You can take a photo of her, and then you can click
Yeah.
something.
It's like a Google thing, and you can click on the photo, the camera, and then you take a picture of stuff, and then it pops up like
And then
suggestions of what you
Yeah.
actually see. And then that's what I did with Flatsy.
And then it looks it up.
Yeah.
And if there is, for example, if there is one on sale on eBay, it'll come up, for
And then
example.
you see how much they want for
Yeah, and then you'll see it, and then it'll tell you sometimes what it is. Usually it's when it's for sale that it'll pop up. She's very cute.
She's cute.
I like her.
But she's naked. We got
Well,
a
no,
pile.
she's not naked.
No, she came naked.
Yeah, but
everybody comes naked.
Exactly. But she's been dressed now, so she's decent.
So, but
I really-
she also came with a pile. We got a pile of fabric, so we can make her clothes.
I love that hair.
So thank you. This is from Cheryl.
Yeah.
I have written down all the names.
Well, Cheryl, we know because she went on one of our cruises.
So,
Actually, our most recent one in May.
So this is another cute doll to the doll collection.
I love that doll. I
But
really
she
like.
need more garments.
I like that hair. I've said it 3 times now. I love it.
But this jacket can easily be changed a little bit for her size, so she can have something. So that's nice. And then what more? Oh yeah, no, I'm organizing here. I have so much stuff. So we got this one.
A new, oh yeah, well that one we got in Japan.
Oi.
Oops.
So we got this little blight in Japan. She lives in the dollhouse. She's so cute. In the dollhouse from the 70s. And now
She's got a roommate.
she got a roommate.
She's got, yeah, and her roommate is very, I must say, she's very folkloric.
She's very folkloric. So that's the gift we got that
yeah.
in Reno.
Yeah, her new friend is wearing a little something. Is she wearing shoes, by the way?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
she lost one.
Yeah.
And you know, if you lose these shoes, they're really hard to find
Yeah.
because
So
they're
anyway, the new one is very folkloric. She is wearing a little. Did you find it?
yeah.
She's wearing a little folk costume and a little hat with ears.
And then I lost the other one. These
Yeah.
shoes are really difficult. They're so tiny. It's like
Yeah, like a little
mouse
bug.
poo.
Anyway, very folkloric Blythe. We love her. So thank you so much.
So she's not lonely anymore. And this is the dollhouse that I found in the thrift store.
Did you find the shoe?
Now it's somewhere on the floor or something.
Oh.
And then we have a fun story because, yeah, you know, this is the dollhouse. It has this plastic furniture. This is for the kitchen. And you have to show this, Carl. This is so fun.
Oh.
This is a fun story because
Missing everything.
we were
Oh yeah.
we were in
Shall I tell it or do you
yeah,
want to
where
tell
were
it?
we?
We were in Los Altos.
But first I can show you the kitchen.
Okay.
So this is the kitchen bench. This is the fridge. The fridge has only a hot dog and a sausage and 2 chairs, and I can't find the table. And this is the dishwash. What do you call that? The dish.
You see? Oh,
Oppvaskbenk?
that's the sink.
The sink.
Kitchen sink.
And then, Carlos,
Yeah.
tell the story.
So when we arrived in Los Altos in the afternoon, we went to have dinner before. We were going to do a presentation in the evening, and we went to have dinner. And the weather was so lovely, and we were there with our friend Britt-Marie, who is Swedish, but she lives in California.
Yeah.
But she's still Swedish, so I mean, with weather as fantastic as it was, I mean, for us anyway, of course you want to sit outside. I mean,
It was
because
full summer.
whenever we have the opportunity, we sit outside. And so we went to this restaurant, and where we're sitting outside, and the restaurant was on the way to the venue where the presentation was going to take place. So we're having our dinner, and this lovely lady comes up to us. She says, "I'm coming to the presentation, but I don't know if I'll have time there, and I just wanted to give you this and thank you for everything you've done for us during the pandemic." So she gave us a little gift, and it was gift wrapped
Yeah.
with an envelope. And actually, the gift was these lovely, food items for the dollhouse that you have here.
For this kitchen.
Yes,
It's perfect for
it's
this
perfect for
kitchen.
that. So there's a little tray with a sandwich on it. This
is a plate with fruits.
There's all sorts of lovely things here. There's even an apple pie. It's really lovely. So it was very lovely of her to give us the gift, and we put it on the table, and I put it next to Arne. I thought Arne should open it for some reason, although it was addressed to both of us.
Yeah.
So the waiter sees it, and
Because I started to open it.
and then So we had our dinner, and after dinner, Arne opened the gift, or was opening it when the waiter saw it. And suddenly he got a little cupcake or chocolate cake or something with a candle on it, because he thought it was your birthday.
He said,
That's
"Oh,
very
it's
sweet.
your birthday," and I said, "No, it's not my birthday." And then he said, like, not. And then he came back with the cake.
Yeah.
So we got a free dessert
Yeah,
because of
it was very
this.
sweet. It was.
And I saved the card. Was it Julia? No. I have to bring that out later because I have the card. So thank you. Who gave us this?
Thanks for the gift and the free dessert that we got, that we shared. It was
fun.
Very lovely, one of those chocolate cakes with the inside a little bit undercooked, la moelleux in French. It was very
So
nice.
now I have more cleaning to do. I have to wash the kitchen, really, and I have to try to clean the curtains in the kitchen because they're quite dirty.
Oh,
And
you're talking about the dollhouse now.
The
I thought you were
dollhouse.
talking about the extension.
No, I have to clean all these cabinets or kitchen things and have to find the table, and I have to fix. Now this chair, you see, this is fine, but this one needs to be glued, and this one is broken, so a little bit of glue there. So that's my new project now.
Yeah.
I'm going to fix the kitchen because we have so much stuff to put in the kitchen. And then I started to organize sewing thread because these small plastic bags, I save them. And there's quite a few of them. And they are so good when you organize your sewing thread. I use this Norgesgras. It's like
Yeah, it's a very old
it says
traditional.
Norway. Traditional. You use it for when you can food and things like that. So I'm organized. Since I'm moving into a new room, so I'm putting all the yarn or the sewing thread in small bags because I can't throw these away.
The
And
bags?
the bags. If you buy something and there's like
like
screws,
this.
they come in these with zip.
Or this.
Or this. So, and because before I had all the sewing thread in this cabinet, and it's what do they call that in English when the yarn get
Tangled?
tangled? It has same happen with the sewing thread. So this is my new cleaning project. So thank you for the plastic bags.
Thank you. So anyway, thank you for all these gifts. We'll be showing more gifts in the weeks to come, as we got quite a lot while we were traveling, and so many so that we didn't even have time to shop. So next week we are going to be really busy here at home,
Cleaning.
getting everything ready and working, I guess.
working.
We're working with different design projects and getting things in order. And of course, there's all the decision making that is driving us bananas.
Because we're going to England on a garden tour, so we have to finish stuff.
And then the week after, we've organized a garden tour for 20, how many are we? We are 26 people on a lovely tour of England, of the English gardens.
I'm so looking forward.
Oh yeah, that's if there's
instant.
something if there's something we love doing in May is going to England to the countryside. We always try to go in May. The first time we did this was in 2010. We rented a car and we went to see the most amazing gardens in the United Kingdom. And now we're bringing a group of people on a garden tour, and we're going to be doing a little crocheting, I guess, on the bus or sock knitting. But yeah, the main event of this tour is some of England's greatest gardens, and I'm sure you're going to wonder which ones those would be. In case you're not from England. In case you're from England, I'm sure you know. But I would say the greatest gardens of England, you have to include Sissinghurst in there.
And
which is
Heathcote.
Yeah, so Sissinghurst is down in Kent. You've got Heathcote, which is in Gloucestershire. Another one that we haven't visited, but that we're going to visit now, that we've read, is considered one of the greatest in England, is Rousham.
Yeah. We knew about it because we saw it on TV.
And we're so excited because when we do a garden trip like this, we have the possibility to include something that we haven't seen as well. So we're going to Rousham, which is pretty much the same way today as William Kent left it when he designed it back in the 18th century, I think. We are going to Weasley, I think. Weasley.
We've been there before.
I think so. Yeah, the National Horticultural Society.
Yeah, we've been there.
No, not the Royal, the RHS, the Royal Horticultural Society.
I think we have some iris in the garden from there.
Yeah, we're going to Rousham, and then we're going to a few of our favorites that are smaller, not as well known as Sissinghurst. So we're going to be visiting again Great Dixter.
Well, that's well known.
Which is a beautiful.
I think.
If you say Sissinghurst, I think most people know what you're talking about. If you say Great Dixter, I think less people know. But Great Dixter is not far away from Sissinghurst. It's a stunning garden.
It's beautiful.
Then there's Miss Erden as well in the Cotswold, which we really love.
And we're going to stay in Shipping Camden, aren't we?
We are, yeah.
Oh, that's one of my favorite places.
Yeah, but not in the city itself or the town.
We have to get into the city.
Yeah, we'll be about a half hour, 45 minutes walk from the town.
That's fine.
But I'm sure we'll get there. I'm sure we'll get there. But yeah, the trip starts in Windsor, and then from Windsor we'll move to a countryside hotel down in Sussex,
Yeah.
and then for the 3 last nights we'll stay outside Chipping Campden in a beautiful manor house hotel. So yeah, we're looking forward to this trip. It always cheers us up going to England in May, because in May we call this brown season here or mud season here in Norway after
Especially where we live,
yeah,
because we're high up.
we're a
in the
little bit
mountain.
later than everybody because we're high up in high mountains.
But then when you go to England, you get, like, for us, it's full summer and everything is
spring
blooming.
anyway.
But it's blooming like in the summer here. So then you get an early summer and you come back and you start your own summer.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So the other day we went and bought rain ponchos, umbrellas, and we're bringing out our Gore-Tex shoes from the storage,
Yeah.
because it is England after all, and you have to prepare for a little bit of rain.
But I have to say, every time we have been on the garden tour in England, we have hardly had rain.
Yeah,
So
but
we've been
don't
lucky.
jinx it. So knock on wood.
Okay.
Yeah, because now you've said it. Now we're gonna have a whole week of
Don't blame it on me.
storms. No, I'm not blaming. I'm just kidding. But don't jinx it.
No, I'm not.
We're preparing for rain, as we always do, because there's always rain in May.
Not when we go. Well, I jinxed him
no,
again.
no. You're not correct. When we've been in England, there's been beautiful weather, but there's been rain. There's always
See,
rain.
when you come home, you don't remember the rain. You
Right.
remember only the good things.
Yeah. But I recall the first time we visited Sissinghurst, as we left, it started raining. And you don't remember that.
Oh, it was raining when we went to
And then there was a whole...
King Charles Garden.
Yeah, exactly.
But that was so beautiful, so you kind of you forget about the rain.
Of course. That's why you bring a rain poncho. That's why you bring an umbrella. And you have to keep in mind, these gardens wouldn't be beautiful and lush if there were no rain, right?
That's why it's so
Then it would
green.
be the desert. So there is a reason why these gardens are so beautiful. But I have to say, I remember the rain in Sissinghurst. Do you know why? Because there were like 30 kids in their ponchos and they were all singing. I'm singing in the rain. Do you remember that?
No.
You don't remember that?
Something's very wrong with my memory.
Well, this is in 2010. It's
that's
a long
way
time ago.
long. I can't remember.
But they were singing, I'm singing in the rain as they were entering, or they were going from the bus, to Sissinghurst, and we were actually leaving.
That's something you should remember.
I remember that. And but anyway, we're going on this garden tour. I'm very excited, as we always do in May. Last year we went on Hadrian's Wall. We walked the whole wall from coast to coast. That was fun. And it was done at the same period as we're doing it this year. So there's nothing that gives us as much pleasure as garden trips to England.
A lot of inspiration.
Lots of inspiration. And it's great bringing a group of people that are interested in gardening and knitting and all that. Yeah. So we'll be with like-minded people for a nice trip. And
but now, Carl, I think we should clean up a little bit outside.
Well, the first thing we have to do now is look for that shoe before somebody vacuums the floor or something, because we don't want her to lose her shoes. So that's what we're going to be doing now.
And it's
so let's go look for a magnifying glass and let's see if we can find the shoe. And we do hope that you have enjoyed this week's podcast. If you have, please give us a big thumbs up. Like and subscribe and engage with our content, because that really helps our reach. And we couldn't do these YouTube podcasts without your help. So we want to thank you very much in advance. If you want additional content, we do have a members area here on YouTube. And for a small monthly fee, you get emojis, badges, weekly 15-minute catch-ups. There are live streams. In May, we are going to be doing a live stream for our Tier 2 members in the end of the month, where people are going to be able to, or our members are going to be able to get knitting help. And also we'll answer questions and all sorts of things. And then we've got shenanigans in the kitchen coming up in June. So all those things are in our members area. If you would like to go there and have a look, all you need to do is go to our YouTube channel, check out the subscribe button, and next to it there's a join button. If you click on that, everything that you can get as a member will pop up. Yeah. So we'll see you again with a new episode next Sunday, and then our next Sit in It for a Bit will air the week after that. So in 2 weeks' time. So
we see you soon.
see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Toodaloo.
Toodles.
Cheerio.
Bye. Cheerio. I have to look for that shoe.
Yeah, look for that shoe. Bye.
Bye.